and get her out of there. And Mike is like, no, because there are heavier hitters. So we want to get them. But Ian really wants to put her away. And I think the warden thinks that's going to happen. That's why she was so upset once she found the gun was missing. Mike said, no, she knows it's gone by now. Let her come to me. There's a Terminator, and he is in the with those fuel tankers that were taking drugs to the prison. Ian knows just who to go to. He goes to Robert because he wants to get to the witness because he's about to get some serious time if this guy testifies, right? So who do you get? You get Robert. Mike goes to see Evelyn and he asks her, "What is it that you need? What do you want?" And she said, "What happened?" He said, "Everything's happened," and he wants to know what it will take for her to back off Kyle, and so he can get out. And she said, "There's nothing you can do. I want Robert. I want Robert." And she said, "And Ian's going down no matter what." So Mike leaves. Callahan's trying to get at Kyle again. And he tells Kyle, yeah, Mike's, a real trip. And so he lets Kyle know that he knows who he is. And this is Kyle's reaction. Robert and Mike go follow the witness. They find out who he is and they follow him. And Robert's getting out of the car and he has his gun. And Kyle, or not Kyle, but Ian says, "You don't need that. What are you doing with that?" But he doesn't try too hard to tell Robert to put his gun away. He just makes that statement. Robert's talking to the guy. The guy's like, "I'm not talking to you about anything." Ian gets out of the car and the guy recognizes him, of course, because he's the witness. And he's like, "No, no, this is tampering. I'm not talking to you guys." He gets out his phone. He goes, big mistake. He goes, "I'm going to record this. I will go live." Robert said, "Put that away." He's about to go live. Robert gets him right in the neck. And he grabs his neck and he's like trying to speak. And he said, I didn't see anything. And as he's hunched over holding his neck, and he goes, "I haven't seen anything." And Robert said, "That ship has sailed." And he looks at Ian. He's like, "Ian, you know what you got to do. Finish him off." And so Ian did. And Ian knew full well that's what needed to happen for him not to go to jail. I think he just didn't want to actually do it and wanted to make it seem like Robert was a loose cannon. But you went and got a loose cannon for a reason. Mike goes to Cindy's house and her kids are there and they're like, "Who are you?" They're not having it. They're like, "Whatever, she's not home." The Terminator stops Bunny's. He parks a Jeep in front of the train to stop Bunny's weapons. Meanwhile, Ian and Robert are dumping the body. And Ian's like, "Wait a minute, we have to get the slugs out." And um, he says, Ian, or not Ian, but Robert says, "We